I'm Tamika D. Mallory.
And it's your boy, Mysonne, the General.
We are your host of TMI.
Tamika and Mysonne's information, truth, motivation, and inspiration.
New name, new energy, but
same old us.
What's going on, my son, Lennon?
Oh, another day.
Yeah, another
above
day.
land. God done let us wake up.
Funny. Well, we got a really packed show today. A lot of stuff happening, a bunch of topics we want to talk about. So rather than me sitting here telling you about my week and all the things that I usually like to talk about, last week you said I didn't even let you.
Oh, no, that was your thing.
Talk about
you did your
stuff.
thing. You did your thing with that.
No. I will not do that this week. I will actually just go to the topics at hand.
Okay.
So shout out to our girl, Yandy Smith Harris.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has a new film out that I'm very, very excited about. Secrets, Scores, and Scandal. It's a Tubi movie. I need to figure out how to get me a Tubi movie.
That sounds a little crazy, though. Secret, Scores, and Scandal. Like what you out here doing?
It doesn't sound that crazy. It actually sounds very, very like a lot of people's lives. So I'm sure I haven't actually had a chance to see the film. I wasn't able to make it to the premiere, and now I have to figure out how to download Tubi. I don't know. Does Tubi on your TV? Like you just go to Tubi.com? I mean, what do you do?
I don't even know.
You don't watch Tubi movies?
No.
Oh. Well, everybody else seems to be watching Tubi, and they love it. And the hair salon.
I gotta.
No,
app.
You don't need to tell people what you have.
Yeah. So, but I just don't watch Tubi.
Please. In the hair salon they have Tubi movies. So when I go in there, I'm gonna tell them I want to see it. But nonetheless, even though we haven't watched it, millions of other people have watched the movie, and I'm really proud of Yan because she has been saying that the arts in general. I mean, obviously, we saw her last year. I think it was Christmas time. She actually sang a beautiful song and showed that her voice, her vocals work. A beautiful song, and she looked beautiful. And and now here she is moving into film. I think one day she'll be in theater. Like Yandy really seriously can perform in many different fashions. Like she just, it's also one of the things about Yell, her skincare line, and why it's done so well is because you see her in front of the camera often. I'm not saying that she always wants to do it, but she certainly is really, really good at being in front of and behind the camera. And so I'm so excited for her that this is a new world, a new lane. It's gotta be worth something to be on TV for as long as she has been on a show that has had so many ups and downs, and a lot of negative attention and press and all of that. And so, it's just good to see that it's turning into her really understanding like the whole film industry and getting out there and doing what she wants to do. So I support
Yan is a master marketer. Like people forget that she's been into marketing and management pretty much her whole life. So she knows how to brand herself, and she's done an excellent job at doing it. And, even despite, like you say, the ups and downs of the show and the negativity, she's always been able to magnify the positivity in her all the time. She never focuses on the negativity. Even when she's dealing with the negativity, it's never her focus. So she never allows herself to get pulled into the minutiae of all of that. So that's why she does.
Well, she done told a few people a few things.
Oh yeah,
time. I mean, but I wasn't.
But for
when
the most
I say
part,
that,
it doesn't overshadow her, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't.
A lot of times when you watch these reality TV shows, and they be good people, and the negativity starts to overshadow the goodness of the individual, and it gets swamped. But Yandy doesn't do that. Like if you go to her social media, go anywhere, you see her positive, you see her promoting positivity, you see her promoting her brands, promoting the Yale, which is an amazing product that I actually use. But she's constantly doing it. So
and when I was saying ups and downs, I wasn't necessarily speaking to like drama, but life happening. She's had a number of things that have happened throughout the show that's not so much drama, but it's real life. But everybody getting to see your real life story is not easy. It's really, really hard to have to put your entire life on display for the world. So anyway, it's turning into something different, right? God can do all kinds of things. That's right. And so now she gets a chance to make films that will be still about real life stories, but she gets a chance to build from a total different way and direction.
She's able to act.
And she can put people on. And you know that's something that she loves to do in terms of making sure that other people have.
Here you go, yeah, bro, you know I got my little acting. I put my acting hat on now. Come on.
You should actually call her, tell her. Sometimes you got to remind people. So speaking of women, black women that's doing amazing things, shout out to the Monica and the Brandy and Monica tour. What is it called? The Boy Is Mine. The Boy Is Mine tour. That's right.
It's a sold out show. It's coming to New York actually this week. It'll be in New York for it'll be in New York in the Barclays. Then it'll be in the Prudential Center in New Jersey, and then it'll be in Atlantic City. So my best friend happens to be one of the promoters of the Black Promoters Collective who are putting on this show, and I'm so proud of her. I just was on the phone with him, and we were just talking about life like we usually do. We just get on the phone and have conversations. We just talking about life and just talking about how, and I would just tell him how proud I am just to see him. He's always been consistent in this. Shelby, shout out to my brother, best friend, mother. Mine's will have the same mother, Shelby Joyner, and he's always been consistent. He started doing comedy shows and parties and just was consistent and persistent. And we just talked about how persistence and consistency breaks down resistance. And a lot of time people don't see your vision, but you see it. So shout out to him. And the tour is going to be, it's pretty much been sold out, and it's been getting rave reviews pretty much everywhere. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go out and see it. Shout out to the whole Black Promoters Collective as well.
That's right. It's so many people there that I just admire. I admire the work. And I know that it's not easy, one, to break through the way that they have as a company that promotes artists and entertainers and shows in the way that they do, because there are so many other big brands that folks will run to. That's just the nature of how it goes when you're black and you're doing something and you are not afraid to say we are the Black Promoters Collective, right? So that's one. People automatically are going to assume it's not going to be done well. There's going to be issues. What I do appreciate is that even with the Boy Is Mine tour, they had some hiccups in the very, very beginning. And you can see how the quality has shifted. Like people, and I'm proud of us, right? Like black folks said, okay, I'm not going to go canceling or not showing up. There was some negativity online, which of course, if a show stops abruptly with one of the artists walking off the stage and nobody knows what's going on, you're gonna hear some people who are upset. So I can't say that I have any issue with that. But what I love is that as they have continued to other cities, people are still showing up. The shows are still selling out. I just watched a beautiful video of them performing. Obviously, they've gotten their groove is there. They're back on the stage, Monica and Brandy, and it looks really good to see them. I saw something that said that in 1998, they were on the Billboard 100 list, I think, for 13 weeks straight, right? Like they were number one. They were number one for 13 weeks straight. And knowing what they had gone through, that the two of them were kind of like they weren't getting along, people with issues between them, just competition, all the things that happen when unfortunately we are forced to be super competitive rather than super collaborative. And for them to grow up and show as two black women that we're better together while working with the Black Promoters Collective, it's like a win for black people overall. We winning right now for this.
Us for the win.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to this craziness that we call the federal government. The Epstein files is, I think we were going to say a lot when we worked on this show. There was a bunch that we were going to say, but now the new news is that Trump is saying he doesn't care about the files coming out. He's like, whatever, I don't care. For me, and I literally have very, very little to say about this. I saw that our brother Jolly Good Ginger, y'all check him out, white man he's a good white man, good white man. He was saying that something has happened to the files. Well, we already figured that. Like, even before all of this, we know that the files ain't right. And it's like, you don't want your parents to see your report card when you know you done erase things and move things. Even though you did it, you know it's not going to look right. It's not going to be consistent with the words on the side where they give the note and say you talk too much and you need to do better. And then you done somehow erased and put a B when it was actually a C. It don't work. It's not going to work. And so he knew that all along. And I'm sure in their minds, it was basically, if we don't talk about it, if no one sees it, they don't have to see all the redacting and all the stuff that we're doing to try to cover how many times he particularly shows up in these files. And I'm sure it's not just him. I'm sure that he's also thinking this can open up a can of worms with so many different things that he has to do what Jeff Epstein did, whether he killed himself or if something else happened to him. It's all about protecting themselves and all the people who are involved in this situation. So I would just say that I agree that it may be that something that, the files have been altered in a way that he feels most comfortable with them coming out. But I think that even more than that, and why I don't talk about it often at all, like you never see me post about the Epstein files, is that there is literally nothing that they could ever tell me about dirty, nasty old men in general. Because I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that only white men have nasty obsessions with young girls. Okay, let's be clear that this is and by the way, some old women have nasty whatever you call it, desires for young kids in general. So this is not something that shocks me at all. The mere fact that it's even being discussed, to me, it should be something like we now know that the government, something is wrong when the fact that he doesn't have to go before some kind of like court of law and deal with this, I don't even want to talk about it. Because even if they do something about it, which they're probably trying to find a way to get rid of him because that's just what these people do. But even if they do something about it, the mere fact that these women and families and other advocates have had to go through all that they have gone through to even get to this point, it is absolutely asinine to me. So that's why I don't talk about it. I'm not saying y'all shouldn't. No. I'm just saying it's why I don't.
I think for me, the reason why I talk about it because it's the hypocrisy, right? And it's the fact that as a president, you campaigned on this promise to release it, and then you became vehemently against it, right? Watching the spat between him and Marjorie Taylor Greene over this subject, and now all of a sudden you like, I don't care about it. You just completely threw her under the bus and everything else because she wanted the Epstein files, but now you don't care about it. So just to me, it's just like just watching something implode. So I'm always gonna keep the thing. It's like I understand that we have a lot of different issues, but this right here is a sitting president who's people have said, I voted against this because I didn't want the boys in the girls' bathrooms, and I didn't want the trans thing, and I didn't like it was the moral thing, and it was this and that, and now you forgetting the morals when it comes to the pedophilia, right? That has been rampant.
That's deep.
This is what it is for me. So it's like I'm not gonna let y'all off the hook with that. We just not moving past that because y'all move past everything else. And shout out to the young white boy that's on Instagram. His name is Dean Withers. He's a real sharp.
You love some Dean Withers.
I love Dean.
I mean,
Dean.
Does he know?
He doesn't know yet. But he's somebody that I've been following. I DM'd. I'm trying to get him to come on the show. Hopefully, he'll hit me back. But I would love to have Dean on our show. That brings me to our TMI of today. Usually bring our TMI, but I want to bring this TMI because it's not. No, it's crazy because he was on his live stream. He talks. He has people call in, different people, and a lot of them be MAGA supporters that want to attack him and tell him how wrong he is or whatever. So, this particular individual called, and they were talking about the Epstein files. And he asked Dean, he said, okay, let's say you're right. Let's say Trump is in the Epstein files. Let's say he did all these things, So what does that mean? What is so wrong with that? So Dean was like, excuse me? You asking me what's wrong with child raping children? He said, yeah, that's what I said. That's what he said. So you asking me what is the issue with it? And the man said, yeah, you dumb, you can't hear what I'm saying. I said, yeah, I want to know what's so bad about that. What's wrong with that? Tell me what it is. Mm-hmm. And Dean, like most of us who are sane individuals, was so taken back by the fact that this individual didn't know what was wrong with this. Like, he really didn't. He was like, and he just kept on saying, "What are you going to explain to me or what?" And Dean was like, "I really didn't think." He said, "I knew that MAGA would do anything. Right? I knew that y'all would take up for January 6th and the releasing of the January 6th people who were arrested and the insurrectionists, the pardons. I knew you'd do all of that. I knew that you would stop, but I thought that you would draw the line at pedophilia." Mm. And it was a real shaking moment. The TMI is like, is that too much? Like, because is it me? Is it you? Or are we just crazy? Because the fact that they are actually individuals that think like that is really scary. And they're not scared to come outside. This is what has happened with this administration, in my opinion. This administration has empowered and emboldened individuals who have levels of sickness, hate, levels of evil inside of them to just feel comfortable saying it or expressing it. And it's like, for me, it's like, damn, wow, that man really got on like a public place and said those words out of his mouth.
Well, okay, but so let me just say, because another part of this is that Megyn Kelly, who's a former Fox correspondent, and she's a big deal, I guess, in the Republican world. She also said last week that Epstein, didn't like 8 or 9 year olds. He liked like 15, 14, I guess 15 or 16 year olds. So he liked he didn't like the barely legal.
No,
he likes the barely legal, right? Which means closer to 18.
It's not illegal.
Right, but
barely legal means that you're 18. You just made 18.
Oh,
so
right. So
legal.
Anything below. Anyway, whatever she said is just, the whole thing is effed up and wrong. So that's why I can't even figure it out, because it doesn't matter. When you mention 15 and 16-year-olds, at that point, right when you say that, the conversation is over.
Yeah, at 60, it's like, what do you want?
Well, they want kids, because 15 and 16-year-olds are children. Wow. But I just want to say that I think what you said is important, that people are emboldened under this administration to just say and do and reveal themselves as being some of the most heinous individuals in our society. And that is very, very scary. But I just want to make sure that while we are dealing with, I love what you said about the hypocrisy of a sitting president who people voted for because their intention was to block the trans community, to stop the boys and girls from using gender neutral bathrooms.
They didn't want the gays.
They didn't want anything. They don't want abortion. They don't want any of these things. And they said
high ground. It was this moral high ground.
And they said that this administration represents Christian values and all of that. And now you have people who, on both sides, you have people who, because by the way, this is not a new thing. Donald Trump told y'all that he grabs women by the coochie.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
He said that he went inside.
So he said that
of the dressing rooms of the pageants.
That's right.
Little girls.
That's what he said.
He got the first peek.
That's what he said. So we already know who he is. We already know. I think it was his first wife who wrote the book. Okay, and his first wife was trying to tell people about his nasty ass. So we already know who this man is. What I am saying. And it's definitely too much. So when you ask, when people over here trying to figure out what we talking about, it's out of control. If you trying
to figure out, then you the problem.
It's too much. The man on the phone is TMI. Megyn Kelly is TMI. It's all too much. But here's the only thing that I don't want us to move away from too quickly. The pedophilia exists in people's homes right now. So you could sit up on the internet, social media, and say, I can't believe it, because you got two sides of this coin. You got people who knew already and still voted for the man. And then you got people who have been awakened all of a sudden, and they're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. So it's two sides of the coin. Who should have known? But whatever, Tamika.
To not know, it's just crazy.
But there are pedophiles that are in your house, at your grandmama's house, down the street, down the hall, right now, who prey on children. And we can deal with Trump, and we should. And we can deal with, because I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican, if they was out here with kids, put it on the table so they can all be dealt with.
That's right.
Put it on the table.
I say that all the time. They say, "Oh, what you gonna care when the Democrat?" I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you think I care? Y'all have us fucked up. Listen, we have been aligned with people who are in the Democratic Party because there are a lot of individuals who have shared values that we have. There are a lot of politics that agree with things that we want, but we are not just no political pundits. We don't give a fuck about no Democrats.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a political pundit.
Well, I'm saying I don't have an allegiance to any party. Okay,
now that's
what I want you to understand. We do not have an allegiance. We will call out anybody that's wrong. We don't have an allegiance to any party. So when you come with that shit, you got us fucked up. Like, you got it confused. If the Democrats is raping kids, then they nasty ass need to go to jail, under the jail. I want the Epstein files to come out and show everybody. And whoever is on it need to go to jail right now.
We're not asking you to release the files of a congressman so-and-so slept with his assistant. I don't give a shit. That's not we're talking about kids. We're talking about young girls who, by the way, now that they're adults, many of them are standing in front of a screen saying, this was me as a child when I met Jeff Epstein, right? This is a man who was allowed to function in society with people knowing that he was a nasty ass. And what I am saying to you is that it represents stuff that happens right now in our communities every single day. The pedophile is able to exist, move around. No one does anything about it. If anything, they make the young women or the young boys feel like they're the problem.
That's a fact.
And it is a sickness. It's a culture that, yes, it needs to be rooted out at the top so that people can see. You know, people need to be able to see that something happened as a result of there being not an admittance, because it'll never be an admittance, but that there being an exposure of this type of behavior and all those who were involved in it. That should happen. But if it's going on around your house, your neighborhood, the rec center, the daycare, the school, that needs to be rooted out as well. So that's all I have to say.
All the way.
All right, let's go to my thought of the day, because we ain't buying it. We ain't buying it. We are not buying it. So Black Friday is coming up. And by the way, honey, these corporations are promoting from now. They already started their sales because they hip. They know our patterns and they watch what we say. We get on the internet. We tell everybody everything we going to do. And, you know, we trying to figure out how to communicate with one another. So we use the resources that we have. But we also have to know that when we speak, they listen. They say, oh, okay, we already know they boycotting a few things. Here it looks like they're coming together. And now we need to be very careful not to rely on the days that they're used to. And they meaning all the people. Excuse me. They meaning all the people, because now I'm seeing all kind of people. What's her name? Chelsea Handler, and I mean, everybody's getting involved in this thing now. I saw Cedric the Entertainer. I saw Tammy Roman. I mean, people. It is becoming a widespread understanding that this holiday season we ain't got it and we ain't buying it. Sure. And so what they say is we can't rely on the days that they're used to. We got to start these sales from now. I happened to go into a store to get my granddaughter something the other day, and on my way, matter of fact, it was Macy's. And on my way out, I said, you know what I need? I need some new washcloths. So I went over and I picked up a few washcloths, and when I went, and they were good washcloths, Charter Club. These are good ones. So when I took it over to the register, the washcloths on the wall said that they were like $18, $18.99, I guess, or something like that. When I took it to the register, it was like $3.99, and this was like a week and some change ago. Mm-hmm. So this is not directly in the Black Friday to Cyber Monday period. But these people are hip. They already understand our patterns. So they're already doing sales now. From my perspective, unless I absolutely need it, I'm not buying anything, period, for the entire holiday season. I just want to make sure that we give credit where credit is due. 10/10/15 was the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. And one of the things that I was attracted to the most was that Minister Farrakhan was not just kind of like, of course he knows how to speak to the time. So the issue happening of black men being killed by police, of course he had profound things to say. Police and killing each other, the whole thing, he had profound things to say. But what I appreciated the most as we traveled the country going out to get people organized for the Million Man March is when he got real quiet. He said, this does not have to be a big old fallout. It doesn't have to be a huge argument. We don't got to throw down about it. It's very simple. Put your money in your pocket and hold your money. And he said, redistribute the pain. We hurting, somebody else needs to hurt too. And these corporations are getting away with being either quietly supportive of these policies that harm our communities, or they out here being public about it, as we see now with the Trump administration and the amount of people, including Target, that invested $1 million in his inauguration. Donald Trump says that he's building a golden ballroom, and he's using private money. And I listened to that and thought to myself, there are some people out here who are so naive or they just don't understand, because they got so much going on in their lives. They just are not focused on this every day. So when they hear private funding, I've seen people write comments that, well, this is not taxes. It's not federal money. So I don't care if he builds a new ballroom. Excuse me. When they say that they're using private money, it's our money still. It's coming from these corporate homeboys who like to be up in his face like Target, giving the $1 million for an inauguration. Yeah. That's where he's going to get the money from.
And it's going to harm us, because he's going to allow them to implement policies that are going to negatively affect us.
Well, yeah, but
and that's why they do it. That's why they lobby. A lot of these corporations, they're lobbying and they're paying for this as a gift to the president so that he can allow them, he can give them tax breaks.
That's right.
That's going to raise our inflation. That's going to do all the type of shit to us, and we're going to ultimately have to pay for it.
No, absolutely. But I'm saying, forget about what you said is high level. I'm going with the basics. The basics for me is Donald Trump and his policies and what he represents is evil and dangerous. If you support him, me and you can't be friends. I just want to go with baseline, very simple things. So if you supporting him, we can't be friends. It's some things I can't get around. Right? If I'm in the city and I have to get to the next location, I might have to take a Uber or a Lyft, and I can't necessarily get around that. But I don't have to go to Target. I don't have to go to Home Depot. I don't have to go spend my money on Amazon. I don't have to do that. I can still find a way. So I hear people all day, oh, well, why don't we boycott John? And I want to do such and such and this company and that company. Boycott everything you want to boycott.
We ain't buying it.
You don't got to wait for somebody to tell you. You can say, right, I've decided that this is a part of my boycott right now. That's what you do. What people have done is to design for you a way to participate, to help it, make it easy, give you other people that you're in community with. But it does not mean that you have to stick with one process over the other or one company over the other. You might say, I can't walk away from said company for various reasons, but I can do this. I can be involved in this way. Find your thing. Stop worrying about trying to tell people, but it's not even that. It's trying to tell people that they're not doing it right because they should be doing. That's not what this thing is all about. And all I'm saying is just remember, when they say that this man is building a private ballroom or that he's getting private money, he is still getting your money. It's either coming from your tax dollars or it's coming from your spending habits. One thing or the other. And for me, either way, we need to be exercising our muscles to keep our money in our pocket. There's no reason why you should be going to the store and food is expensive and you still running around talking about, I need these shoes, I need this and that, and I'm broke. I'm complaining about this price and then going and buying stuff from these people at the same time. It's crazy. We doing the same old thing over and over again and expecting that we're going to get different results.
And we never get a different result.
Now, we did our things a little backwards, but you was piping hot. So the TMI came before the thought of the day today. But this particular interview that we have coming up is somebody who I am just completely impressed with. We taped this interview a few days ago. Yes. This young woman who you all are about to see is a part of a series that Mysonne and I on the TMI show have released. It is a series that we are working to make really good for you. It's called It Ain't What It Supposed to Be. And so every week we're trying to find diamonds in the rough, people who look real good on social media, but also have stories to tell about the struggles of building business, about the struggles of keeping their lives afloat in the midst of also building. So check this out. China Russell, Dollhouse Cosmetics is coming up with a previously taped interview. Check it out and we'll be back. All right, so we are here today with a young lady who became my friend during the release of my book, I Live to Tell the Story. I did a live with China Russell, and honey, it went viral. It was lit. They was all over it, telling me I look so cool, and oh my God, cannot believe that you hooked up with China. And then I went and did some more research, and sis is a complete powerhouse. And so we're so excited today to have China Russell with us, who is a beauty expert and an entrepreneur. And as part of our series, It Ain't What It Supposed to Be.
That's right.
It ain't what it POST to
you
be.
You get it like post.
Hopefully, I know they get it. Our people will be with us.
We'll get it.
Yeah. This is our first episode of the series, and we're talking about entrepreneurship today. Talking about the challenges, the beauty, of course. Let's not put challenges before beauty. Beauty is absolutely a thing when you can work for yourself and get your own brand off the ground. It's not easy, but it is still beautiful. However, the series, It Ain't What It Supposed to Be, is really to help people get a glimpse behind the curtain, because we post on social, and all of us, I mean, I got a new light that I just ordered, honey, and it came today, and Janice and I tested it out, and that light is popping.
Okay.
But one of the reasons why I need the light is because I noticed that as I'm getting older, when I take pictures and videos, sometimes you can see certain things that the light helps to illuminate and bring the face and the skin out and all the things. You see what I'm saying? So behind the curtain, it may be one thing, but in front, we always try to put our best out to the world. Then your parents tell you to get your Easter suit on when you go somewhere nice and fix up, clean yourself up, get you a haircut. That's right. I never forget when I was a younger mother. My son must have been about 9 years old, and I used to wear. I told my son this story all the time. I used to wear a headscarf, and you know how you had the doobie, and as long as the hair would stay in it, you didn't have to take it off. You just kind of let it just sit in the doobie. And then I have my little night clothes on, and I looked so busted, but when I would go outside, I looked so cute and fabulous. And my son said to me, if people only knew how you look in the house, he said they would just not, they would be so shocked if they knew how you looked. And that's the point. When we go out, we look one way, but on the inside, there's a lot of things going on. So China Russell is joining us today to talk about what it has been like to build Dollhouse, your brand, from when it was the cosmetics company to now there's an actual brick and mortar. You have moved up in the world, and we are so excited to have you to join us today.
I'm excited to be here. So excited to be here. You don't understand, like, this was like, what? Because y'all like the real deal.
We try to be.
Yeah, no, seriously. So
we try to be.
It's just an honor to be here, for real.
Thank you. You travel and all the way from, well, I'm not sure where you live. That's not important. But you were Brooklynite, so you all over Brooklyn here with us.
Sure, yes. But I go back and forth. Like, my family is in Atlanta, so I go back and forth. But I live in Jersey now, but I'm from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn.
You know how they say you get a couple of dollars and you get out the
No,
we always do that.
I know.
We get a couple of dollars and we get out the way.
But I had to, because I was a young mom. And like, it was like, okay, I couldn't really raise my son in East New York, because, you know, his dad was there, his dad went to prison, his dad's still in prison. So I'm like, I don't want my son to become narcissistic, you know? So it was really on me to like change that narrative and like get us up out of there, for sure.
How long ago did your son's father get arrested, locked up rather?
My son's father went to prison when I was 4 months pregnant with him, came home when my son was 5, went back to prison, came home, my son was 7, and then been in there since then.
Wow. And how old is your son now?
22.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I knew, like, this wasn't a place that I wanted to raise my son, for sure, you know? So I had to do something. So I moved out of East New York like 20 years ago.
Wow.
And that's when you started your Dollhouse?
Yeah, so initially I didn't have I had a brick and mortar. I had opened my first brick and mortar 19 years ago. But when I started my brand, it was like I was in my mother's house in the kitchen. Like, I would have clients come to the house in the kitchen, and I would take my clients and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was I had got like foundations and lip glosses. I started with like 2 products, because I had this whole idea of like having this big full line, but I didn't have enough money.
Right.
So when I went to the manufacturer, the chemist, and she was like, you know, I had like $20,000 saved up, and she was looking at me like, that's not gonna get you anything. But she liked me, and she saw like something in me, I guess, and she was like, convince me. Like, if you can convince me to take a risk on you, I would take the 20, front you product, and then you owe me, but let me see what you can do. So I had like came up with this idea to have this event called Glam Day, and I would have women come in and they pay $10, and they get their hair styled, not like a full hairdo, but like styled, curled, and I would do their makeup. I don't know who told me to do this, because it was like 300 people came, and I was slaving over faces for $10, but she ended up coming to the event.
Wow.
And she seen that I had all these women come, and she saw the influence I had. And she had me come in the next week, and she took my 20, and she fronted me, and we did a whole full line, and that's how I started my brand.
Wow.
And you know what's so funny? It's crazy, because she was a white woman. And you just wouldn't expect, I didn't expect for her to even see me, you know? But she understood that there was, when I was going in those rooms and I was having the conversations about there needs to be products for women of color. And realistically at that time, they were like, well, black women don't buy makeup. And I was just like, how is that possible when I come from a bloodline full of black women? Like, it didn't make sense to me because, like, I knew, you know, growing up young in the hood, like, you really don't understand what, like, oppression is, right? You probably grew up a little different because you grew up in a household that was, like, proud about their blackness and stuff like that. And not saying that my parents wasn't, but they just wasn't knowledgeable or even teaching us like
they
that.
just weren't taught. They knew probably.
Yeah,
but
you were learning your history to me in school, and school didn't really make you proud about being black. That you was in school and then you had no one to relate to you for real. Oh, sorry, no one to relate to you for real. So, like, it started to manifest in me. Like, I started to see, like, it's so much more than just here. And I never felt bad about being brown skinned. And I saw colorism happening, and it was like, I just felt like I needed to do something about it. And even though, like, my mom, she never, like, thought about being an entrepreneur, but my mom is, like, believing me so much.
Wow.
Like, anything I ever wanted to do, my mom is, like, 100% behind me. So I feel like that's why I tell parents, like, you need to not be dream killers. Like, you as a parent, you have to, like, really show love and support to your children, because kids really don't know what they're capable of doing. But when they parent, when your mom be like, I don't understand, but I can follow you, that gave me all the courage, you know? So I just wanted to employ and empower my community, but not really realizing that's what I was doing, because I didn't want no one to feel unseen, because I knew what it felt like. And coming from, like, East New York and stuff like that, you're told, like, you're really not gonna be nothing. And I was 19 and a young mother, and people thought my story was over. But I'm like, I had every reason to do.
How old were you when you had your baby?
I was 19.
You're not supposed to be telling me.
I know, because then they're going to add it. But you know what's so funny? Before my... Okay.
Yeah, you can't swing the shit.
Sorry,
yeah,
okay.
Don't swing the shit.
Okay. Before I had my son, I was pregnant at 18. I had a baby girl, but she passed away.
Wow.
So, like, I always tell people, like, you know how, like, I know for a fact that God chose me to, like, tell my story and to, like, help other people and share it in my testimonies, because I didn't go through all these things for no reason. I still survived it. And I'm still humble and still love and still grateful and all those things, because some people go through things and they become bitter. But I feel like everything that I've been through made me a better person, and it gave me so much information to, like, share. Because I feel like that's why a lot of people stop or don't dream, because they don't have anyone to say, listen, I come from exactly where you come from, and I've been through all these things, and I promise you, you can do anything you want to do, you know? So with Dollhouse, it was like a love letter to black women, because I just felt like, especially growing up brown skin, growing up brown skin is a different experience, especially in eras, like, I'm an 80s baby, and maybe I shouldn't have said that, but
we already got it. We already
colorism was so major, like video vixen times
when we were
like
young, it was bad.
Yeah. And it almost made you feel like you didn't exist. But in my world, I was always told how beautiful I was.
Because you are.
Thank you so much. So are you. And I always looked at my mom. My mom is chocolate and beautiful, and I just come from that, you know. So I just never felt like, I just felt like we were the most beautiful, you know. So makeup really was an expression for me to, like, get out of my neighborhood and my environment, you know. And a lot of my friends, I would tell them, like, you know, I'm going to do all these things. And they would be, like, looking at me like I was crazy. And some of them, when they see me now, they'd be like, I can't believe it. I said, well, I told you. You got to start believing people, you know? So Dollhouse really was a love letter to myself and to black women. And it just landed from there. But I was working in I was renting in someone's shop. And she was a popular, famous person. She was on television.
So the motivation was being a love letter. You just wanted to do something better for the community. How was that process, being a young mother, you know, understanding after you had already lost a child? I know that must have been trauma. Like, what was the whole process from there? I
think for me, it was like still wanting to become who I thought I could become. And when I gave birth to my son, like, my son became, like, a whole motivation for me. And I was like, because I wanted to be a lawyer initially. And
me too. Yeah,
really? Yeah. And when I had my son, everything changed, and it was like, now I got to really get to work, and I got to really make a difference. Because I, like, always thought, like, I wanted my kids to, like, be able to know that I left, like, legacy for them. I didn't really care about, like, my kids hearing, like, how fly I was or what I've done in the streets and stuff like that. I really wanted to build legacy. So it really inspired me once I became a mother, and just to change the trajectory from, like, my sister, my mom. Like, it was on me. I'm the oldest. So it was my responsibility. I felt like I had to get us out of this environment and just change our life. So it was really just a necessity. And I loved beauty. You know, I used to see my mom and my grandmother and them get dressed and put on their lipsticks, and I just thought they were so fly. So I wanted to be a part of that. So that really what motivated me.
And then so building this, I mean, you talked about your first brick and mortar, but in your mother's kitchen, what were you doing? Were you doing makeup?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were doing makeup and then using whatever products were out there, but then you started using your own.
My own, yeah. So I had my own makeup line and didn't have a location. Didn't even have a website.
Right.
But word of mouth is like, I feel like that's why I'm so happy that I come from like not the new era of entrepreneurship. I love that I built my business without social media, without Instagram, you know, like this when I was like hustling and like taking cards and going around town and stuff like that. So that kind of built the foundation. And I think when you build a foundation from solidness, then it's like nothing you can't do. That's why sometimes I feel when you like an innovator and you did things before it was the timing, because I opened up my first beauty bar that was like 19 years ago. No one knew what a beauty bar was. I should have patented that. I didn't know how legendary it was going to be. No one knew. When I actually went for my LC and my paperwork, they were trying to call it a salon. And I was like, well, I'm not conforming to that. It's a beauty bar. They didn't get it. So I was always thinking ahead of the time, because I feel like my beauty insight is gifted. You know, like Mayweather, like he's the greatest, but it's not also just talent, it's hard work and dedication. And I feel like some people just got the gift, and then when they work hard, it makes them even extra special. I think that's how Legends is created. So I feel like I was gifted already, and then I was like really diligent on like working hard and like perfecting my craft. So my first store was really, and it's so crazy because I already got like, can I don't want to curse.
You can curse.
No, you can curse.
I really got shitted on. So I was renting my daughter father. Okay, so my daughter father got murdered when my one daughter was 1 year old. And that really changed my life. Like I really went through a deep depression, and I really I didn't want to accept it. And I was like, I was so skinny. I lost so much weight. It was really bad. And I would like cry every day, and I wouldn't get up, and I wouldn't like do anything. And it was like a hard time for me because I was so close with his family, and then when he got killed, they just switched on me. But they still loved my daughter, and they was there 100%. So I sacrificed. I didn't care about how I felt. It was more so like my daughter had her dad, family, you know, and I was just so honored to have them. So I kind of took like a lot of pain from them, and I was so depressed, and I thought I lost my passion. I didn't want to do anything, and I never forget this ex-friend of mine. She ended up being a bad person, but sometimes bad people could come in your life and still do some great things for you, right? So she had called me one day because she had just lost her husband. And she was just like leaving me voice messages and was like, you know, take showers and just like take it day by day. And then she had told me that someone was renting a space. And she was like, I think you should go and you should try to do it. And that same night, I heard my mom crying. And I was like walking past the room, and she was talking to my aunt, and she was like, you know, I've always been able to help my child. And she's like, in this time, I cannot help her. And I don't even know what to do. And just to hear my mom, like, so, like, in that place, I was
desperation.
like, yes. Because my mom have always, you know, been there for me. I told myself, I said, okay, I am still blessed. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't have my dad. My son father went to prison. Here I am again. I'm a single mother again. Like, it was just like,
wow.
You know, like, I just felt cursed in a sense. So, because a lot of experiences that, when I do my pregnancy with my son, I didn't experience with my son's father. He wasn't at the baby shower. He wasn't at the birth. He wasn't there for my son's first steps, you know? And so here, finally, he was at the baby shower. He was there for his daughter's first steps, and then just snatched from us, you know? So
it's a black experience, baby.
Exactly.
You talking about a black ass life.
So many of our stories.
Sad.
So
it's
many
sad,
of our stories,
it's
unfortunately, you know? So I went into this, I started fighting for myself. Because it was real bad for me. And then I started renting out of this space, and it was like God was just like blessing me. Like I was having clients like waiting for me all day. Like it was just like booked and busy, and still grieving. But then there was an environment where these women were just so mean, you know. And I was in a worse place in my life, and they was still so mean to me, so mean spirited, so intimidated and stuff like that. And then I was coming in every day with candles, trying to change the energy. And then I was like, one day, one of the girls there was trying to fight me. And I knew like, okay, this is it. Like I have to like find another way or like figure it out. And I literally was walking up the block and seeing a store for rent. And something in my spirit was like, just call. And I've never in my life thought I can really own a store. It was never something that was, you know, in my mind. But called the number, got a meeting, went to the meeting, and got it. And it was literally down the block from the place I was renting.
Wow.
And it wasn't,
so this place was by yourself because the place you were in was like co-working.
Yeah. I was renting from someone.
Yeah. I had a nail tech one time, and we were in a salon where other people were there. And this older woman, she was a younger woman who does nails, and she's like nasty.
Wow.
Like just amazing. Yeah. She's like one of those people who could put all the stones and draw inside. Yeah, where is she now? The thing. She can never be on time anywhere. So that was a problem. But her skill set she's extremely talented. And an older black woman in the space who probably thought I was just as young as the nail tech.
Right.
Was ridiculously nasty, and she was a physically aggressive, like that's what I was changing the TV, slamming doors, pushing things in the way. And I'll never forget one day I got up and was like, now you have a problem with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching what you're doing to this young woman. It was so disrespectful. And she thought I was a kid until I opened my mouth.
Right.
And started talking to her and telling her she's a battle axe bitch.
Right.
And then
wait, I didn't even know you could get like that. Okay, yeah.
And then she was like, oh shit. I said, you come back over here one more time and see. But you're right. The jealousy. So jealousy is my God. Yeah. In the salon.
Yeah.
And I thank God. I go to Phoenix Salon in Harlem now. Okay, nice. On Adam Clayton Powell, and it's a space full of black women that support one another and share everything. And my son those ladies love him. They support us. They got books up.
Love that.
You selling something, they all come together. You walk in there and she's too busy.
Yeah.
She gonna wash your hair to get you ready for when your hair
community.
It's a community. They eat together. They drink, and they might have some drama.
Yeah,
but
because we
don't
women.
know.
So exactly.
But we was just talking about working with family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you, your sister, and your mother are in business together.
Yeah.
Like, what was that process?
So, I never wanted to be the biggest in my family. You know, some people want to be like the one. I always wanted it to be us, right? Because I think legacy can't exist without us together. Legacy just ain't one person.
Yeah.
We want legacy for us as a family, as a community, right? And just as black people in general, because it's old to us. So with my mom and my sister, they poured into me so much. I would not have been able to do what I've done because, one, I was a mother, and I was a single mother, and with 2 kids. And certain environments your kids going could be in danger. I was able to grind and go into my business while my mother was watching my kids.
Right, me too.
And even though my mom probably didn't have the most money to give and stuff like that, what she did, because when I had to give up that $20,000, my mother gave me $3,000 of her money.
That's it.
Right?
That's big.
But my mom always give me her time. She'll come clean up. She'll be like watching. She watch everything because my mom have discernment too. So my mom is watching who come in, like who's who. Like I don't really trust her. So.
Are y'all from a Caribbean background? Or?
No, people always think that.
Because the Caribbean mamas don't play.
But I'm not gonna lie, my mom always dealt with West Indian men, so I grew up with in a Jamaican household because my sister dad was Jamaican, But she just was on point. And my sister, my sister was young. My sister was 15. My sister's so talented. I think she's better than me. And I'm one of those sisters. I'm a big sister that I really love my sister like she's my kid, And I just wanted to give my sister everything, and my mom everything, and I just wanted to just change our life. So them being a part of the partnership, it was always partnership. It's just that for the moment, I was the one probably taking the most risks, but the whole idea was for us to do something together anyway. And my mom, I just wanted to give her that because my mom just beat lung cancer. Oh. So
y'all done been through.
Yeah. And, and my mom was shot innocently outside our building and stuff like that. So just so many things. And like I said, blessings could be in the bloodline. My mother's a chosen, blessed, anointed woman. And I feel like I have anointings over my life, and then my kids have anointings over their life, So it was just it's just a difference in our family unit. And my mom is just so, my mom prayers saved my life, changed my kid's life, my sister's life. So opening a business together was something we had to do. And then, in the nail industry, it's the biggest industry we dominate it as black women, but we don't own it.
Right.
It's 45% Asian owned and 20-something% othered. And then we're 10%, not even 10%, 4% of owners of nail salons. So I wanted to change that narrative. I'm why can't we own the businesses in our community? We know that redlining exists and all those things, right? So it's done intentionally. And I'm like, I remember when I opened my first shop up and people were saying, oh, you opening your shop up in the hood? And I said, well, damn, this is our hood. Exactly. And everybody else can see the value in it, but we don't. Something's wrong with that.
Love that.
Y'all trying to say something negative to me because I decided to open up something and not realize that that's what they want us to do. They want us to run out of our community to build up other places and not build up our own.
But did the client base come to you?
Yeah. So what
or
happened
did they still go to?
Oh no, they had to because I was the only one doing it. I ain't trying to be like, but I was like the first one of the ones. Like some of y'all favorite makeup artists. Like some of your favorite makeup artists right now was once a client of mine. You know, a lot of them don't like to admit it because it's something about like giving each other our real flowers. Sometimes people don't want to give you flowers. They're intimidated by you, so they feel like they can't. But I really didn't do it for that. I really did it to impact and for real. So my blessings don't really come from what people say. It's really what God say. And when like God put you on assignment, you don't like look for the reward, right? So for me, it was like, I had to unpack it because I didn't understand why black women were so jealous at that time. I'm thinking I did it for you. And I was so confused because women would come in my place and they would say things like, and I never heard this before until I was a business owner, like, that's why I don't support black businesses. And they would find everything negative with it. And I would be like, wait, I'm so confused because like, and I worked in white businesses. I've never heard white people come in and have a bad experience and say, this is why I don't support white businesses. So I'm like, this is a black thing. And then I realized that it's self-hate because like, they looking at me like, how could you do this? Because like, for some reason, like the way they oppressed us, they made us think like if one do it, then is a like it's saying that you can't do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like they think
scarcity.
I was right. So I feel like they thought like I'm trying to shit on them instead of uplifting them. So I'm like, this is crazy. Like but I was the hottest shit moving, and now they had to come. So you know what it is? It was so
and
crazy.
And that was for makeup.
Yeah, for makeup.
Okay.
Like because I changed. Like I really opened up my shop and like made it like a place of luxury. Like you get served champagne. This like 19 years ago. You getting served champagne and getting a beat face, and you might see a celebrity on Love and Hip Hop in there, like things like that. Just like really innovative, having makeup classes, Sunday makeup classes, and just treating black women well. We wasn't like sometimes we feel like we don't deserve luxury, like we ain't the ones, So I'm like, we deserve this, So
you were serious.
Yeah, I wasn't playing. Like I was like,
you was motivated.
I just had a dream. Like I just knew like I could do this.
So what would be some of the things that you could say? Because if someone comes in and they say, this is why I don't support black businesses, I think that's the wrong mentality. Although I know I have said it. I've never said this is why I don't support black businesses. So let me get that straight.
Yeah, I don't believe you said that.
This is what I have said. But this is what I have said. Black businesses. I will say that.
Yeah.
Which means I'm, like you said, I'm frustrated. But what would you say are some of the things that you had to learn to do better so that folks did not have that experience?
Yeah. So for me, right, in my business, when I first opened up my first business, I didn't know nothing about business. But I was dedicated, and I was hungry, and I was grateful. So every time somebody walked through my door, I was so grateful that I almost was like selling myself short because I was just feeling like I didn't understand like what community was. I didn't understand they were supposed to support me. I didn't understand that. I felt like they didn't have to, but they were supposed to. We have to support each other.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. Like
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like yes, why wouldn't we?
Yeah,
like
why not?
When I opened up my first place, and it's a beauty company, and it's beautiful, and my own cousins didn't show up, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we didn't have an argument, like why didn't you come? And I think because like I started to understand like they thinking the light is on me, and they don't realize that come with me, because if this talent is blunt line, like y'all so talented, and if y'all pour into me, it can make more, but they so scared to pour.
So you was worrying about the wrong thing,
right? I couldn't even enjoy because I was so busy being so nervous to not mess up. So I did learn like being a better leader and understanding that business is business.
Focus on
and
the
people
business.
don't have to, them coming in and saying I want to patronize your business. I need to,
it's a luxury,
right? And I have to provide a certain amount of service to them, and I had to understand that, and I don't get to fall short and say, well, give me a chance, and I'm grateful. No, this is business, So it was just learning how to be a boss, but not a boss like in people's face, but handling my business and delegating correctly. Because at first I was like a little girl. I was scared to say no. I was scared. Like you can't do that in business, So it really made me turn into a woman too.
And how and so tell us about the money you've made.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing that the people want to know is all this hard work and struggle from the bottom up. What kind of money?
The money is money.
The money is money. I mean, the money has money. The money has afforded me to be able to send my son to college and buy a house and take care of my family and things like that. But I will say this, in the beginning of my career, I made millions of dollars. Did I see the millions? No.
How did you make millions of dollars? Selling makeup?
Yeah. So when I opened my first shop up, when I tell you I was banking with Carver Bank, shout out to Carver Bank, one of the really good black bank and like a community bank, they were seeing the numbers I was doing. They was calling me in every other week, like, what's happening? What's going on here? What are you selling? And I'm selling concealers and foundation. You know, they didn't understand. They were so shocked.
Did you pay the white woman back?
I've been paid her back.
We got some good white women out there.
We got some good. I'm Roberta. She recently passed, and she loved me. She seen so much in me, and she knew. She was like, "You changed the game," you know.
Did she support you more than once?
Yeah, she supported me a lot of times.
That's right.
She supported me a lot of times. Yeah, she supported me a lot.
Miss Roberta.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Absolutely.
White women sometimes telling you they.
I always say you got to keep a little white woman or something in you.
We have a white woman that we're very close to. She works with us, and we trust and love her deeply.
That's right.
Julianne Hoffenberg.
Oh, that's what's up. Right. I love that. I love that. We got some that's out there that support us and believe in us and never wanted to oppress us.
Some of them are fighting harder than we fight.
Absolutely.
So I have to give that. So you were gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask this. You know, the name of the show, like the segment of the show, is not what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Like when we see you online, you always look happy. You always have this energetic, energy. You look like you upbeat. Everything is winning. Is it ever times that you go online and you're not really winning, but you realize that you have to put up a front to continue to win, or you're not in a space where you feel positive and you just putting up a front sometimes? Because sometimes there's a lot of us that we know we got to smile when we should be crying.
Yeah. Maybe 2 months ago. So many times. Again, like when I started my business, I didn't know how to run a business, so I ran into IRS issues, and I had a fire, and I should have had $1 million in insurance, and didn't. Like, just being.
You said the money was coming in, but you wasn't seeing it.
Wasn't seeing it because guess what? This what happens in business when you go to a company, and a manufacturer company, and a local vendor, right? So I'm locally creating and having a chemist create my product, which is more expensive because it's local, it's in America. So I'm paying top dollar. I'm not having enough inventory. I'm selling out, but I'm not having inventory because the inventory is so expensive. So instead of I may have had a $30,000 week, I could have had a $100,000 week had I had more inventory. Not knowing to outsource, not knowing that there's a China and you can get your products created for a cheaper amount. I didn't understand. I didn't know that. And at that time, no one wanted to share because it's like, I'm not trying to tell you because I don't want you to go and get your product and surpass me. So it's like that whole thing. So it took me a long time to be able to outsource and be able to really get a bang and a real bigger profit. And I didn't know margins and I didn't know markups. I didn't know any of that. I was just selling my makeup and like just grinding and that's it. Like I didn't have an accountant at that time. It was like so many things that I didn't know really what to do. But I really feel like because God anointed it and appointed it, I feel like he protected me, he covered me.
So to answer the question that my son is asking, so like when you're going through this, the IRS issues, and trust me, I know all about that, honey.
The IRS do not.
Jesus, help us.
You got to do a 50% payment before you even get a payment plan.
You know about that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2 years ago, I had to give them, a lot of money, but I was thanking God that I had the money to give them.
That's right.
So got them off my back. I'm good. Yeah. Debt free. Don't owe nobody nothing. Own me.
That's what's up. So, but you going through those times, you're still out there like,
and losing my mind.
Oh, I know about it.
Losing my mind. Relationship, personal life, business, all those things crashing down at once.
Is it hard to be an entrepreneur in the space that you're in and have a relationship?
I think so. Really hard.
Being a boss woman, is it hard to have a relationship?
Yeah, but for me, I put, to be honest, I'm a lover girl. Love comes first. Love comes first to me. I feel like I don't care about, like, even though my business is my passion, like, but what is it without love? What is it without someone to share with and, like, grow with and be there for you? Like, I put love first. But sometimes love don't put me first. So relationships, my relationships played out on the internet because I'm a lover girl, so I post my man and all that. and then people get invested in your relationship more than your business, and then now you broke up and you trying to hide it and you don't want people to know.
It ain't what it supposed to be.
It ain't what it supposed to be.
And it's just like, girl, I thought you said you were so happy. I was. Right now, I'm not. Like, you know.
I was.
But I am an open book. So I do go on my lives and I do tell my truth, and I do use my captions as a place to uplift and give the truth. My sister always say, why you just don't be a bad bitch? And I'd be like, well, it's really easy to be a bad bitch. So I use my captions to inspire and to tell a story and to, like, inspire someone, because I know what it's like to, like, want to give up and be, like, literally at your breaking point, and then somebody might post something, say something, and just change your life. Many of you guys did it for me many a times. That's why for me this is so legendary to be here, because it's like, that's how I know I'm really one of them ones even more.
You one of them ones.
When I spoke to you last time on live, I was like, yeah, I gotta be one
of them. I was watching your live. I was like, this live is lit.
Oh, thank you.
No, it was really good. I mean, a lot of people, you know, I've made the joke of viral. I don't even know what that means anymore, but I will say that a lot of people who follow you, they follow me, and they came and they were like, oh my God, it's just so wonderful when you see people connect that you're like, those two would be good together. So I'm so happy that.
Oh, I've been fighting to get you don't understand. So right, y'all, I donate to all your stuff. Like my son, I wrote y'all so many times. Like in my followers and stuff, they be like, China, you gonna get next to them, you gonna get next to them, and not next to y'all, like, cause you know you got people to get next to y'all that want to try to destroy and try to do. No, I want to get next to and join and bring
fight.
More and,
you have
fight
beautiful energy,
and all that, you know.
Well, what you said in the beginning about, you know, your parents not necessarily giving you like the whole we as a people have been oppressed, and they weren't necessarily giving you the history and bringing you so much into the movement the way that my family did, but you learned it quick enough. And that my sister is brown skin as well, and I've watched what she has gone through, and I also listen as a kid to what people say. Right. Like I've heard family members and friends say things about her, but my mother's also very brown, and they have always been very protective of my sister and me for various reasons. I talk too much, and my sister was brown skinned, so you know it was like one or the other. And I understand what you mean, that it's either going to make you or break you. You either gonna be extra confident, or you will lack confidence so bad that you won't take care of yourself. And I'm so happy for you that you gained the confidence you need to be great, because you are great. Now, tell us this last thing before you go. Where, first of all, is the beauty bar and nail salon? Are you hiring? And then finally, are people in our community supporting you the way you should be supported?
So our nail salon, so the nail salon, so now we have the nail salon and the beauty bar together. Is in Brooklyn on 3000 Fulton Street. And I'm opening another business. I haven't dropped it yet. It's been under construction for the past 16 months. It's like the biggest project of my life. It has taken me to another level, opened me, stretching me, like building me. Like I've never even had opening businesses. I've been opening brick and mortar for the past 20 years. I opened a store in Jersey. Like I've done this, right? But I've never had architects and mill workers and all these things.
You made real money.
Yeah. Like this another level. And God told me that, God put this one on my heart. He told me that I was going to another industry. So I'm trying to diversify my portfolio.
That's right.
I don't want people to keep me in a box. So nail salon, this other business, a couple of other things. We just, we got 2 houses in Atlanta. Like, you know, I'm just trying to like make it work for us. Like, you know, I'm trying to teach my family.
No, you ain't trying.
Thank you.
You are making it work.
I'm trying. I'm doing my.
You're doing it. You one of the ones. But I want you. There's a young little brown skinned girl.
Yeah.
She's 16, 17, 18. She's pregnant, and she doesn't know what her life is gonna look like. And I want you to give her some inspirational words.
I would say that no one gets to determine your story. You know, failure sometimes is a place where we can find ourselves and renew things. Like, I think failure is necessary because you get to learn new tricks. Like, I feel like sometimes we get comfortable. And I was a young mother, and that is my biggest inspiration. And I feel like when people count you out, it's like the worst thing they can do, because in the same breath, they'll end up having to count you back in. Your story doesn't end with your bad decisions. You get to rewrite your story anytime you want. And I think that's the beauty of life. Like, we get to change, we get to evolve. And sometimes people don't want us to because they're so afraid, and we let other people lack of information and other people lack of experiences to hinder us. And I feel like dream big. Dream as big as you can, and all things are possible, especially with faith. And like, but we can't just rely on faith. We have to put work towards it. So I honestly say, like, you could do all things that you want. Like, I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. I was a mom at 19. My son father went to prison, and I became a mom again. And my daughter father got murdered, and I'm still here, and I'm an entrepreneur. And my son is in college. My daughter's 16. She's driving now. Like, our story is just still going, you know? So
still going, still in progress.
To another little brown girl like me, I see you. I think I created a space for you, and I want us to continue to create spaces for each other and know that we are more than just our environment. You know, and I love being from East New York because it gave me a different type of hustle. And anywhere I'm going, I'm always telling people, like, I'm from Brooklyn. And some people be saying, is she from Brownsville? No, I don't have a problem with Brownsville. I'm from East New York, though. Mm-hmm. Like, please don't get it twisted where I'm from. Like, it gave me a different type of hustle. It gave me some character, and it gave me, like, the will to keep fighting. Like, I'm undefeated, for real. Mm-hmm. And just get ready for, like, all things that's coming and just, like, stay faithful.
I'm undefeated. China Russell.
Okay, China.
Y'all make sure y'all go out and support Dollhouse Nail and Beauty Bar.
That's
Dollhouse Nail and Beauty Bar. 300 or
3,000
Fulton Street in
and
Brooklyn.
I need y'all to come to my other business. I'll tell y'all off camera.
You'll tell us. Yeah.
But I'm changing the fucking game with this.
That's
right.
it. That's what's up. We're very proud of you.
Yes, we are.
You keep going.
You
know, maybe you are what it's supposed to be. I don't know,
I
right?
like that.
Maybe,
I like that.
You know, maybe the next series will do it is what it's supposed to be.
It is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you for joining the TMI show.
Yes.
One of them ones.
Ooh.
So much love to Miss China Russell. She has an amazing spirit.
Yeah, she does.
She is one of them ones, like we said. Man. Like, just listening to her story is touching, is compelling, is real. You know, it's something that we've heard before. It's kind of similar to yours.
Like, I mean, there's some similarities.
Yeah, when you listen to
but
it.
My mom didn't get shot. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And she lost her child's father.
Yeah.
And, one in prison, one deceased, lost a child. She went through a lot. Everything she went through is, like, as she said, the prescription of others would be that she wouldn't make it. Like, she would just be, not in the position she's in today. Put it that way.
And I'm proud of her.
Me too.
And that's a testament of what we're talking about in this series. We're talking about it ain't what it's supposed to be. Basically, letting you understand that you see entrepreneurs, you see successful business people, you see successful people, period, on the internet. And you think it's simple, and you don't know the story and the backstory behind what they had to go to attain the success. We're going to be interviewing a range of people who have different stories, and you don't see their real story on the internet. And you look at it and you see the pretty and the shine and the glow, but you don't understand that the work and the struggle and the trauma that they actually been through. So that's what this series is going to be about.
Well, some people do tell you their story online, but I think people, like, it maybe they ignore it. I don't know. It's like,
because you gloss over it because you just see
you're
that
like,
individual.
Okay, but let me see the car, the nice thing, or just the successful business that's going well. And I think also most people with hard stories, they've been through challenging situations, they don't walk with it once they become successful because they understand that God has blessed them, or whomever, whatever it is that they praise and give honor to, that they know they've been able to get through and past all of that. And so they shine even when that's not what they're trying to do. It's not that they're being fake. It's just that they know, all of that happened to me, but here's where we are today. And so I think even though they might go back and tell you 1,000 times, you don't know where I came from. You don't understand the struggles of my childhood and all of that. A lot of times people kind of, they gloss over it, as you said, and focus only on the good things. And you have to understand, I think the point of it ain't what it supposed to be is not to deter people or to make people feel like they can't do it. It's to say, despite whatever you may be going through, you can still become a success. And it ain't about what you put online. It's about what's happening in your real life.
And I say that all the time. We judge ourselves by the best 90 seconds of somebody else's life. You go online and you see a post and you're like, wow, those are goals. But you don't understand the work. You don't understand the sacrifices. You don't understand the tears. You don't understand the no's that they got before they actually got to that success. So I think we want to be able to show that and show you the finished product, because people don't realize that, to become a diamond, you was cold. We got to show you the cold part so then you can recognize and really appreciate the diamond.
Yep, absolutely.
So what does beauty mean to you today compared to when you started Dollhouse?
So beauty to me is more than skin deep. Beauty to me is our legacy, our story. For me, I feel like our beauty was defined for us, and now we're defining it. It's like, instead of people telling you who you are, knowing who you are. And it's our hair texture, it's our strength. It's everything about us as women of color. Like, it's just beautiful being a woman of color. 3 easy products to give a flawless application. Our Perfect Finish foundation is literally flawless skin. And then you're going to follow up with our concealer that is going to hide the blemishes and cover the bags. And then you're going to go in with your HD powder that's going to mattify your whole face and bring everything together. And then voila, you have flawless skin.
How do you want people to feel when they use Dollhouse products?
I want them to feel what most women do. Sometimes we feel so good inside, but we want the outside to match. So when women use my products, I want them to know that it was created solely for them. Like, imagine like just using something and knowing that it's directly for you. That is what I want women to know when they use my products, is that this is made in the likeness of you. This is made to enhance you. This is made to bring out the things that you want people to see. It's a showstopper. It's for you to feel the most comfortable. That's why we create products that's so flawless, not to take away, but to bring out. So I want them to feel like they better self.
So for my I don't get it today. I seen something online where there was a story about Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey's daughter talking about her siblings.
Lord help us, God.
So she was talking about her siblings, and let me make sure I say it right. She says she has a twin, Moroccan, and then she has half siblings. And it sparked a debate, and it sparked a discussion. And for most people that I know in black households, we don't use the word half. Like, I've never heard the word half in my household. Like, I know other people in my family or people that I'm close to who don't have the same mother and same father. Because like I said, me and my sister have the same mother and father. Me and my brothers don't have the same father.
But your sister tells people.
But she always says that. She always says same mother. That's her thing. But she'll never call my brothers her half brother. Like, that's never been a conversation. So I don't know. Is that some type of cultural thing or what it was? But I don't get it. I always felt like if we have one parent that's the same, then that's my brother. That's my sister. So I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard different people say half brother. So I never hear anybody introduce a person as half brother, half sister. But in a conversation, they might say, well, we don't have the same father or whatever. I guess they're half brothers and sisters, and we are not. There's never been a time when they've been introduced as half anything. I also don't remember a time where my parents have used the word step either to describe that, unless my parents have never done it. But I know that there are some adults who might say it, or parents who might say it because the child prefers it or the other parent prefers it. Mm-hmm. But it's not really a thing that you use the title. That's clearly because Mariah and Nick's child is being taught that somewhere. Like, that's some energy that's coming from the adults around. And I probably would put my money up to say that it's not Nick who, is saying half. I don't think so. But it's a tricky thing because, also there's so many kids in his family that they might feel a way about. I don't know, maybe they feel a little like it's so much, his time is spread out among so many people. So maybe that's some type of emotion, but it's not a natural thing that I hear people say half. Now, what I will say is that during the campaign, Mom Donnie's campaign in New York City for mayor, mayor-elect now, Zohran Mamdani, he had said that his aunt told him some story. I don't know what it was, didn't even care. I just know something about his aunt. I saw it one day. And then later on, they found out that it was actually his cousin, that the aunt is really his cousin. And so they made a big deal out of it and said that he lied. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all telling me that you don't know that we called, if there's an older cousin, then it becomes like you say your aunt.
They said that. I've never actually done that because like my older cousins have just been my cousins and we weren't like that tight knit in the family. Like, so we would be separate. We would see each other once every few months or whatever. But I believe if you lived really in close proximity, most of the people I know that lived in close proximity to their cousins and their cousins were way older, it was pretty much like an aunt. So I've heard that terminology. I wanted to reiterate, I've also used the term stepfather, right? Because when my brother's father first came to our family, my father was still alive.
Yeah.
So and then my father passed away, so I didn't want to just replace him with this is my father, right? So I always let people know how close me and my stepfather are, but I always use the term as that's my stepfather because I wanted to make sure that my father held his space, and I didn't want to relinquish his space. So that's probably the only thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's emotions that are clearly coming out when people use that language. Because under normal circumstances, I bet you your stepfather does not say my son is my stepson. He says that's my son.
That's my son.
Yeah. So it's some emotions that people are dealing with. And I'm not trying to say that it's all negative. It just means that somewhere something they're hearing or something that they're feeling
shows what is their need. There's a need for separation.
Exactly. That's all it is. So
probably not to anger one of the parents or not to make the other, usually
not to upset the parents.
Yeah,
it's learned behavior because we didn't have, I never even thought about my siblings being step. In fact, my brother's father, I loved him like uncle. He was like family. Shout out to Rufus, who passed away some time ago, but he was like an uncle. He loved me. He see me, and my dad would be right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it is and that dynamic made my brother my brother.
That's right.
But if there had been any difference of a thing or separation of us, then I'm sure I probably would have told people, oh, that's my stepbrother. He's not my stepbrother, though. It's the mama's child. It's not your stepchild.
Yeah.
Stepbrother. But
but half brother. They're saying half.
Oh, half.
It's not
step. It's not step. It would have been my half, right?
Half.
Yeah, it's not half. He's not my half brother. He's my all the way brother.
Like the only thing they got half is fractions in math. We ain't doing that with no people. My brothers is my brothers.
My brothers is my brothers.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of TMI. It's been a dope episode. Shout out to China for her amazing interview. Like, her energy is she's just dope.
She's a beautiful young lady.
She's an entrepreneur. You could just sense that she's not even nowhere near finished.
No.
She's just beginning, and she gives me motivation. Like, you're looking at her, and she just looks like she believes.
Yeah.
Like, there's this thing about belief. People don't understand that when you speak things into existence and you really believe something, you manifest it. And I'm a big believer of manifesting, using your words and your energy to manifest things. And she does that really well. So shout out to her.
Beautiful young sister.
Make sure y'all follow her and support her.
And follow us at TMI
_
show on Instagram or
TMI Show PC on YouTube. I'm not going to always be right. Tamika D. Mary's not going to always be wrong, but we will both always, and I mean always, be authentic.
Peace.
That's how we own it.